Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Anytime you got to go. Anytime you got to go. Yeah. Everything brought to you different. If you just listen, it'll be terrific. To the show.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. And if you would like to find the text for yourself, me personally, I always start this one in Genesis chapter 18, even though like the meat of the story is in Genesis chapter 19. But I love the pre-game conversation that God has with himself and with Abraham, because he's like, okay, let me just start it. Okay, I'm just gonna have to tell you, because honey, first of all, I'll read it to you because I don't even need to paraphrase this for this to be funny. It says, hold on, let me go. We're at okay, so we're at Genesis 18:17, and the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham this thing which I'm about to do? Like, he knew, because just to set the scene, Abraham nephew Lot, they've separated. Lot decided to go chill out and in the Sodom and Gomorrah area over there where the wild things roam, and Abraham was in his own little section, but that's still his little nephew. So God knew that if Abraham found out that God was about to strike down the place where his nephew was at, Abraham was gonna have an issue with it. Like, hey Lord, like, what's up with that? So God was like, dang, do I tell him and then I gotta have all this conversation, or what, because that is the homie? Like, could you imagine God having a conversation with himself, like, dang, that's my dog, but I'ma still go do what I'm gonna do, and I really don't want to conversate about it, but you know what, I'm gonna tell him anyway. Like, for real, that is just the funniest thing in the world to me. Like like I was about to roll out and destroy a whole city, but you know what, let me talk to my dog Abraham first. Hilarious. Funniest thing, one of the funniest things in the Bible to me. I don't know why, but that tickles me every time. Okay, so God has this little inner monologue with himself, and then he decides to tell Abraham. Once he tells Abraham, look, I'm about to roll up to Sodom and Gomorrah, like, I can hear all the wretchedness that they have going on from heaven. I'm not feeling it. This is a little too much for me. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take them out, because they not listening, they acting crazy, and I've just had enough. And Abraham was like, okay, God, I get it. You right, they do be tripping, but my little nephew and them is over there. So let me just ask you, if there was only like, I think like 10 cool people that's chill, that's not out here wilding in the city, would you spare the city? And God was like, yeah, I would spare the city for 10 cool people. Like, yeah, but where they at though? Abraham was like, okay, 5 cool people. Now the numbers, I'm not saying it correct, because he said it differently, but I'm not about to go through all of that. And what I'm saying, these glasses are just for show, and this print is very small. So basically God was like, oh, if you find 5 people, fine, cool, 5 cool people that's not tripping, I won't destroy these 2 cities. Abraham knew that there was not 5 people in this city that was not wild. So eventually we get down to like 1. And he's like, oh my gosh, Abraham, yes, if you can find 1 cool person, I spare them, or whatever. Long story short, God sends 2 angels to Sodom and Gomorrah, and he tells them, look, when you get down there, look out for Abraham's little nephew and them, Lot and whatnot, and see how he doing and what's going on before you wreck shop, because he was like, you know what, we gonna tear this place up. Let me tell you what happens, and this is why low-key, of course, obviously the loss of human life is always tragic, but low-key Sodom and Gomorrah was just no chill. Like, dude, the angels get to the gate like of Sodom and Gomorrah. They get to the gate, and the people of Sodom and Gomorrah see the angels. ooh, you bad. Like, ooh, you sexy. Like, hey, yo, shorty. Like, totally catcalling the angels, telling the angels what they want to do to them. Like, nasty. Like, sassy, bougie, nasty. Okay, like, and not realizing these are angels of the Lord, baby. Yes, they're cute, but baby, this is not what you want, okay? Because you run up on them, you're not gonna leave looking done up, in the words of Nicki Minaj. So Lot sees the whole situation. He's like, yo, leave these people alone. They're visitors. Leave these dudes alone. Look, I got 2 virgin daughters. You can have my 2 virgin daughters if you leave these guests alone. These are my guests. And, you know, in that part of the world at that time, and even now, like, they're very serious about visitors and guests, like how you treat them and stuff, because you just don't know. Like, Lot didn't know they were angels. He didn't know that they were there to save him, but he was like, hey, y'all can't be just raping people in the streets now. Y'all got to act like y'all got some kind of sense. So, long story short, the people are like, nah, we don't want your virgin daughters. I mean, we'll take them too. And then the angels had to just like strike everybody blind, like, y'all know we not doing that. They go back to Lot's house and they're like, look, Lot, let me tell you, I'm glad that you tried to stick up for us and help us, because this was a test. Well, not really, didn't say it was a test, but in my mind, this was a test, even though they knew they was coming to help him. But he just proved that he should be helped. And so they help him, and they're like, look, get your wife, get your daughters, get out of here, because we about to wreck this whole place. We tearing it all down. Fire, brimstone, falling from the sky, meteorites, gone like the dinosaurs. Goodbye, Sodom. Good night, Gomorrah. That is what we have going on here. And they tell him, they give him one set of instructions. Like, they tell him where to go, like how to exit the city, which direction to go in, and whatever you do, you, your wife, and your daughters, don't look back. Don't look back. That's one set of directions. Whatever you do, do not look back at Sodom and Gomorrah while it's going down. You're gonna hear it. It's gonna sound like the world is ending. You good as long as you keep moving and you don't look back. But you know, being humans, you know somebody had to look back. And of course, we all know the story, how this goes. Lot's wife looks back and she is turned into a pillar of salt. Just and her husband and her daughters, they got the good sense not to look back. They keep it moving, and things get a little hectic for them later on, because let me tell you, they end up hiding in the cave. This is really not part of the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, but I cannot leave this out. So they end up hiding in the cave, and Lot's daughters is like, well, our little boo things was in Sodom and Gomorrah, and so how are we gonna keep the family line going? And they decide that they're gonna do their daddy, like their actual daddy, like not no stepdaddy fantasies. This is your father. Ooh. Like, so they get their daddy a little drunk, and they do their daddy, and they get pregnant, and that's how Lot's line keeps going. But that has nothing to do with Sodom and Gomorrah. But I just could not know that fact and not tell you, because you need to know what I know, okay? With your daddy. They was in Sodom and Gomorrah way too long. But let me stop. But anyway, that's the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Thank you for hanging out with us today. And again, if you want to go read the story for yourself and get yourself a good laugh and a good chuckle, which I guess you're really not supposed to laugh at this, but it is low-key kind of funny, because they really legit tried to rape 2 angels. Like, baby, that was not gonna happen. That didn't end well for anybody. And yeah, but thanks for chilling with me. And again, that's Genesis. I start off in chapter 18 because I love the whole little situation with Abraham and God be going back and forth. And okay, because I love a good argument. It's not even a real argument though, but Abraham, he was that dude. And of course, on to chapter 19, and then, you know, you gonna see what you see. But all right, that's it. Bye.